Hi, Steve. Thank you so much for joining me today. Technology is becoming a vital part of how we plan and design construction projects. And I'm looking forward to discussing some of your thoughts on how technology can benefit the pre-construction stages. Well, to kick things off, what are the current gaps in the pre-construction industry?
Well, in pre-construction specifically, there's a lot of gaps, so it's a lot easier to name what's been filled versus the the gaps that exist. Besides the general estimate, which has been the cornerstone for all the front end work for decades, all of the other workflows that really address the planning, the overall business and strategy that you're putting in place as part of the pre-construction effort, really has no support other than ad hoc spreadsheets. And that is a big problem. I think also the data structuring, everybody's handling enormous amounts of data. There's statistics out there that say only 4% of the data generated in construction is actually structured and usable in a more like automated way. That's 96% of all this valuable data that is flowing through everybody's fingers like a sieve. That's a huge, huge problem, and that's a huge lost opportunity. And then I think pre-construction, when done properly, is highly collaborative. You have professionals, extremely smart, talented people, the developer with maybe a finance background, you got the architects, structural engineers with their disciplines, and the builder coming in with the expertise of how to build. They don't really have an environment to actually work together, share information easily, and communicate in a language that all three parties can understand without a whole lot of prep work or expanded explanations. And so I think there's an enormous opportunity to really raise the bar and the level of transparency and that high degree of collaboration that makes the project planning so much more effective.
Absolutely. And in your opinion, what is the impact of data-driven technology on the pre-construction planning phase? Is there solutions to these current gaps?
Yeah, and it's like I try to have people imagine, a little bit of visualization, if you will. But imagine a project that you have the data at your fingertips, and the decisions and the understanding and communication can be done at the one click, if you will. Imagine the time that you're saving, because everybody that we talk to generate comparable costs from their historical projects to apply it to this project can take anywhere from 3 hours to maybe an entire day. And maybe that involves multiple people. Imagine a day where it's just literally a click of a button, or it's just automatically presented to you. There's the power of the impact of the data and addressing these gaps is a game changer. I mean, it's not an incremental improvement, but just a few simple solutions in place, and your life can change dramatically. And then look at it from if I'm the GC and I want to look at it from my customer, my client's perspective. Imagine a day where they can sit on the other side of the table and have a much higher degree of predictability of outcome, much higher degree or confidence in the information that's being presented, because I can see it all laid out. I understand where it's coming from. It's all been assimilated in a way that I can understand. I mean, that's a game changer. And I think just overall confidence with data, you can be more accurate. If you're more accurate, you're more competitive. If you're more competitive, you're winning more work. And then industry wide, if people are more accurate and competitive, more things are then deemed to be affordable, more projects. And we have so many projects, housing, hospitals, schools, that aren't being developed because they're deemed to be non-viable from a cost perspective. And we have enormous amounts of contingency and quote unquote fat in the numbers, that you could easily be 15% off the mark of what truly is affordable and doable if you only had more precise information and a more precise understanding of how you can get that project built. So the impact is phenomenal. I mean, it's amazing, but we have to get there, and to get there, people have to recognize that there is a better and a smarter way, and they have to be able to just trade in their spreadsheet for maybe a piece of software, or a bigger vision on what their data could be doing for them.
Definitely.
we'll get there.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, following on from that, and how is it you see data-driven technology will develop in the future? You know, you just mentioned there are some barriers. You know, how can we overcome those?
Well, specifically speaking, I mean, that's exactly what ConCntric was born to do. And, we're doing it. It's taking all of that data structuring, it's really digitizing these workflows and doing it in a way that now you're in one place with one single source of truth. And all of those workflows that I mentioned at the beginning are all, because they're digitized and they're in one environment, all of that data and information can be automatically updated in between related workflows. And that data for this one project entered once forever informs and makes the next project and the project after that much smarter, more accurate, more precise. And at the same time, it's cutting out hours, like huge chunks of inefficiency out of what you have to go through today to get your given job done. So, the future starts today, as I always say, and we have started it, which, after 26 years in the business, seeing it done the old fashioned way and not just pulling my hair out, it's awesome. And I just get more and more excited about everybody else having a part of it and benefiting from it.
Absolutely. I think having that passion in this industry is definitely going to be pushing it forward in the future. And do you think that digital tools are the future for the pre-construction planning phase? Obviously, ConCntric's making massive efforts to kind of change that, but digital tools in general.
We don't have a choice. We have, from a talent population perspective, we're declining in terms of the head count, the years of experience. At the same time, the demand for more things to be built in the built environment is rapidly accelerating. We have population growth that is driving that. We have infrastructure, failure that is driving trillions of dollars of replacement. And the industry, I say we, because I come from the industry, I'm a builder, we can't keep up. There's just not enough talent, no matter what you do, to be able to keep up with the volume. And it's keeping up at, just to survive, not to mention the fact that there's enormous opportunity that would support growth if companies can just figure out how to really get more bandwidth out of the talent that they have. And it's really automating the use of data and really saving all of the man hours doing these tedious analog manual efforts. This is not about replacing people with AI or any of the buzz stuff these days. This is literally augmenting and unlocking bandwidth out of people and taking away the boring, redundant, monotonous work. Who doesn't want to do that? Who would rather? Who wouldn't rather engage with the client and think and plan and brainstorm? Who wants to sit there and be a slave to data entry? I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. So why not embrace this, and why not unlock and unleash all of that power and bandwidth that you gain back to then do more? And if you can do more, and if you can field more pre-construction opportunities, statistically speaking, you're going to win more work. And if you win more work, from a fee and return basis, I mean, all of that is like gravy. It's free money.
Mm-hmm. And do you
Right?
think you need a culture shift for people to understand these benefits? That they're obvious, but obviously the adoption of these tools is still quite slow. Do you think it is a matter of a culture shift?
It's already happening. I'm
Mm-hmm.
already seeing it. People are, really appreciating the fact that their data could be put to work for them. They're also that same talent decline in our industry. We have younger and younger people, although not coming into the industry at the same rate as we're losing the baby boomer generation, but they are coming in and they demand higher grade technology. I mean, they've grown up. We're born with, the iPad, the iPhone practically. And so the thought of them doing it the way that I grew up doing it, they just like, heck no, I'm not doing that. That doesn't make any sense. That's not the best use of my time. They're very smart. So the culture shift is happening by virtue of the younger generations coming in and driving through the demand for better technology and a better way of doing things. So it is happening, and we're in the transitional stage because we do have people that have been doing it the same old way. Ironically, a lot of them are from either my generation or the generation that came before me. And talking to them, they already see the need for the change. So I truly believe it's happening, and it's going to start to accelerate, and we're well positioned to walk in lockstep with them as they embrace this change.
Mhm. Brilliant. Thank you so much, Steve. That's all my questions for today, and it's been really interesting to hear your perspective and hear about what ConCntric are doing for the future of construction. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you for having me.